Hare Krishna Prabhuji, धन्यवाद प्रणाम. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Pranam Prabhu, Jai Srila Prabhupada. I'm little late. I'm sorry for that.
No, thank you
No
Prabhuji.
problem.
Thank you Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad Pranam, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Pranam, all Jai Srila Prabhupada. I was thinking that I'm late if anybody is joining today.
Prabhu, we're looking forward to your nectar always, always.
Well, I don't know. It's about Isopanishad nectar.
It's wonderful.
Wonderful,
Prabhu,
Prabhuji.
any association with you, Prabhu, is a blessing.
It's my pleasure, genuine pleasure. Myself. So I'm setting up the system so that our sound is more clear.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So we can begin now. Om Gyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sadhajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम् जयतो सुरतो पङ्गोर्मम मन्दामतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वापदाम्भोजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ दिव्याद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पाद्रुमादा श्रीमद्रत्नागर सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा शीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमन् रासरसारम्भी वंशी वटाटतस्थिता कर्षणवेणु स्वनिर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुना पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपास्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्ताशक्तिकम् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय So thank you all for joining. Today we are discussing from Isopanishad, verse number 9. It's about Vidya and Avidya. Ignorance is better than misguided knowledge. Andam tama pravishanti ye vidyanupasate tato bhuya iveta tamo yayu vidya yamrata. People who worship avidya or culture of knowledge, for example, those who engage in material life, karma, enter the regions of deep darkness or ignorance, cycle of birth and death. Worse still are those engaged in the culture of misguided knowledge, gyan, or the study of Vedas, Vidya, without bhakti. So the idea is there is Vidya, there is Avidya. Vidya means um, there is uh, um, there is ignorance, there is misguided knowledge, and there is knowledge. So knowledge is naturally bhakti. We know we are spirits of part and parcel of Krishna, and the goal is to attain Krishna and develop love for Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. There is knowledge. Then there is ignorance. Ignorance means I don't know who Krishna is. I don't know who I am. Well, then I want to be happy. So let me, like today we were discussing, polluted aim of life is um, material desires. Um, we were discussing today, it was mentioned that by studying Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a transformation of the goal from polluted goal of life of material desire to attaining lotus feet of Krishna. So polluted aim is material desire and real goal is attaining lotus feet of Krishna. Um, so those who are ignorant, they engage in sense gratification, like many people in America, India, everywhere. But those who are in misguided knowledge, like I am God, Mayavadis, for them there is a deeper punishment. So that's why the topic is ignorance is better than misguided knowledge. Better be a sense gratifier than being a Mayavadi or misguided. That's the basic theme, and then we will discuss more on this now. Avidya or ignorance is undoubtedly dangerous, but vidya or knowledge that is misguided and is not aimed at self-realization is even more dangerous. This verse criticizes both karma and gyan. Those who cultivate only impersonal atma gyan enter an even worse state of ignorance than the state of repeated birth and death obtained by karmis. Like it is mentioned, for those who are misguided knowledge, who are gyanis, mental speculators. Um, Ramapad Maharaj says there is a special type of hell for them. But those who are sense gratifiers just get repeated birth and death. Sometime heavenly planet, sometime lower planet. Ignorance is karma. Karma yogis are ignorant. Not karma yogis, karmis are ignorant. And they don't know who they are and what's the purpose of life. So they engage in material desires and sense gratification. That is ignorance. But Gyanis are like they think they know, and what they know is a misunderstanding. So that is not good. But ultimately, this verse rejects both karma and Gyan. But among them, I mean, Gyan Yoga, true Gyan Yoga is okay, being a Brahmavadi, but misguided knowledge is something different. Adi Shankaracharya. Okay, so how is Vidya worse than Avidya? Um, when we say here Vidya worse than Avidya, Vidya means misguided knowledge. There is knowledge, there is Vidya, misunderstanding. And Avidya means you just don't know anything. So two functions of Maya, Vidya that destroys matter and Avidya that creates matter. We will see that people who become detached from matter by Vidya can destroy matter, but they do not receive the shelter of the Lord's spiritual Shakti unless they perform bhakti. But people engaged in material life are situated in avidya, and their spiritual nature is covered by the darkness of matter. Vidya that destroys matter basically means misguided knowledge, and they reject matter, go to Himalayas and do mental speculation. So Vidya that destroys matter from that perspective. A Vidya that creates matter means now, out of ignorance, they are engaging in more and more material, um, um, like um, material desires or material things or material life. So they are trying to do so much thing with the matter to find happiness in the matter. So that avidya that creates matter. Okay. Paramatma has inconceivable and multifarious energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shriyate. Maya is one of them by which he creates this world. So this we also have discussed in the past. This world is created by earth, water, fire, air, ether, and they all come from the three modes. So Maya is the one that creates this world. Um, and the Lord has innumerable Shaktis. Among them, we have heard the primary Shaktis are Haladini Shakti is there, Sambit potency is there, Mm. which is all. Krishna is all knowing. Na? Krishna says, I know past, present, future, me nobody knows. That's Sambit potency of Krishna. Then Sandhini potency is there, which is existential potency, like the spiritual world is Krishna's potency, because Krishna is everything comes from Krishna, and the spiritual world also comes from Krishna. So Parasya Saktir, Parasya means many, many. Like para means many. So Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Basically means that Krishna's Shaktis are unlimited. And among them, one of the Shakti of Krishna is Maya. And through Maya Shakti, he creates this material world. One of the purpose of Maya Shakti. And then Maya Shakti, also the material world is also created by Maya Shakti. The body is also created by Maya Shakti. Krishna says this body is made up of Maya. Yantra Rurani Maya. Body is also made up of Maya Shakti. And Maya also illusion the living entity to be absorbed in the other creation by the Maya Shakti. So what exists is Maya Shakti, and what we are attracted, that attraction, that illusion that I will be happy there, that illusion is also Maya Shakti. But it's the external Shakti. We also see that there is internal Shakti, there is marginal potency, there is external potency. Na? Bahiranga, Antaranga, and Tatashta. Tatashta is with the living entities. Bahiranga is Maya, that includes earth, water, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. And Antaranga is Haladini, Samvit, and Sandhini. They are all internal potency. How Krishna is all cognizant, and the internal pleasure potency of Krishna, the existential potency, how spiritual words. So these are all different Shaktis of Krishna. Um, and Bahiranga Shakti, this material word is through Bahiranga Shakti. If the Jiva does not establish a relationship with Paramatma, he cannot be liberated from matter. Naturally, the living entity is attracted to matter. And if a Jiva does not establish a relationship with Paramatma, he cannot be liberated from matter, because we are either, like, Prabhupada says, we are always attached. So we are either attached to the matter or the material, or we are attached to Krishna. We are always attached. So unless one develop a relationship with Krishna, there is no possibility of being liberated, because we will be asakt to this world. When one gives up, like just recently I was talking to one person, very sincere, would chant 7 rounds every day. Uh, um, Come to the programs every week, and suddenly he stopped showing up. And then I asked, Prabhu, not visible nowadays. Some mistake happened from us. Then he said, I mean, he's a young boy. So he said, I had a breakup. And then because of the breakup, then he stopped chanting, went through very difficult phase in his life, lost faith in Krishna. And he said, by any means, somehow or other, I want her back in my life. So I was a little bit straightforward and I said, bro, I give you two choice. You tell me, do you want Krishna or do you want woman? What is more important to you? He said, I have been thinking about it lately. Do I want Krishna or do I want woman? I said, even if you, I told him that it's not that, I want your relationship to work out well. But first you should become Krishna conscious. She should become Krishna conscious. You both should become devotees. Then life is good. Otherwise, the purpose of the life may be, um, we may be diverted from the real purpose of life. Because anything in this world will give you happiness and distress. But Krishna is the one. Even if you're with anybody in this world, how long will you be with them? But if you're with Krishna, how long you will be with Krishna? Krishna will be taking care of you forever. But how long will you be with anybody else in this world? So it's the real relationship that we have is actually with Krishna, which is eternal. Every other relationship is temporary, right? And every other relationship brings happiness and distress, but relationship with Krishna is pure and loving. And he's always with you. Krishna says, Suhridam Sarvadehina. I am the friend of all living. Krishna is a true friend, really cares for all living entities. So unless we establish a relationship with Krishna, we cannot be liberated from matter because the nature of matter is very attractive and keep binding us. When one gives up the variety of qualities found in this world as despicable, one then becomes attracted to something without qualities, which creates a great obstacle for the jiva. So it is said the path of jnanis, speculation, or they said God does not have a form. So what what they go through is they become disgusted with this world, and they lose faith in this world, and they lose faith in everything in this world. And because like when one gives up the variety of qualities found in this world as despicable, like everything is like disgusting. Um, this like they become great distaste. Like Krishna says, um, extreme renunciation leads to the path of Gyan, who are disgusted with this material world. Um, Extremely attached lead to path of do your karma and then get the result and share with Krishna also. But because we're too much, then do your karma. And then those who are balanced, they take the path of bhakti. So when one gives up the variety of qualities found in this world as despicable, one then becomes attracted to something without qualities. So it's like if they are at say they are attracted, say their experience with people is not good. Many times they have like very bitter experience with being around people. They exploit them, they cheat them, they lie to them, and then they are disgusted. And then the conception for them, the conception Krishna is a person, Krishna is associates, and there are gopas and there are gopis and there are Mother Yashoda and there are cowherd boys and there are cows, and then they feel like being with people is disgusting. Why? Because they don't um, whatever, they have some bad experience, they cheat on me, um, they speak on my back or something. Then when they're coming with that, when they find the qualities in this word as despicable, when they find like the form in this word is miserable. Quality form is a quality, na? Or anything else in this world as miserable. Suppose some are working and they are very much frustrated from their work life and pressure, and they feel like all this thing is like I hate all these things. Then again, it's a quality. There is some work involved, there is people involved, there is interaction involved. So when they find the quality variety of qualities found in this word as despicable, then they just want to get rid of everything. Then they want to enter Brahman where nobody exists, no person is there. I'm not there, no work is there, just absorbed in Brahman. That's what I want. So that's what it means. When one gives up the variety of qualities found in this world as despicable, one then becomes attracted to something without qualities. Because the feeling that God is a person and God is surrounded by person, then they're like, oh no, I don't want to get into a person and personalities around me ever again. Why? Because they have not experienced real love. That's why those who are too disgusted with this material world, they go towards the direction of impersonalism. Too much renunciation, not good. Um, One then becomes attached to something without qualities, which creates a great obstacle for the jiva. And now he's not willing, because of his bad experience, not willing to accept Krishna and Krishna's associates. Then it becomes a great obstacle for the jiva. So avidya we saw is um, just being attached, materially attached. So Krishna is the proprietor of everything, and forgetfulness of this fact is ignorance. Ignorance means Krishna is the enjoyer, Krishna is the proprietor, everything belongs to Krishna, Krishna is God, we are part and parcel of Krishna. So forgetfulness of all these things is simply ignorance. Okay, we don't know what the truth is. The more one forget this, the more one is in darkness, is in ignorance, is in avidya, nescience. And then, so those people are naturally engaged in sense gratification. Those who are in ignorance, they engage in sense gratification. 99.9% of people perform activities for gross sense gratification under the flags of industrialism, altruism. Altruism means helping somebody else, political activism, etc., to the exclusion of God consciousness. They all are worshippers of avidya and are called mudas. Krishna says, mudas are grossly foolish, don't believe in God, and they are just engaged in many activities. Everybody is engaged in different kind of activities towards the nation, towards political, engaged in many activities. Um, mm, and they become attached to certain goal. Like, for example, we see Srila Prabhupada before he met Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada was like supporting Gandhian movement. Then Saraswati Thakur told Srila Prabhupada, of course, Prabhupada Nitya Siddha devotee, but then one meets a guru. But till one meets a guru, one acts like a common man. So when Saraswati Thakur reminded him, then then he's like, yes, Saraswati Thakur is my guru. Um, Krishna consciousness is an emergency. So when there is no knowledge about, like, clearly our past life, all of us, then we have many goals and we are running behind those goals. That's basically, like Prabhupada says later on, Prabhupada says either sense gratification extend itself sense gratification. Modern civilization is a patchwork of activities of sense gratification. Modern civilization is a patchwork of activities of sense gratification meant to cover the perpetual miseries of material existence. So what is modern civilization? Modern civilization means there is heated cars, there is heated houses, there is very nice hospitals. The death is a person dying is like in a coat and suit and very glorious. And um, so modern civilization is a patchwork of activities of sense gratification. Whatever problem is there, create something that the problem can go. Meant to cover the perpetual miseries of material existence. So, wherever there is a problem, and create a scientific thing that can help alleviate the problem. For example, in America, snow, people go into depression because no sun. So then they created, I was hearing somewhere, reading somewhere, or some news came to me. Somebody told that somebody sent that they have this depression, and then there is some artificial lights to create sun environment in the room so that it can counteract the depression. So this is modern civilization. They are creating things that can. Material world is perpetual misery. Material world. There is old age. Okay, here is some modern civilization. Then you can look very beautiful. You can do pre-aging also. So there is some perpetual miseries, and then you cover those perpetual miseries. Or too much Adi Bhautik is there, Adi Devik is there, Adi Atmik is there. So you take this medicine and you do this. So this is like modern civilization. It is a patchwork of activities of sense gratification. It's doing some patches, like you see what are the miseries in material existence, and you cover those through patches. So that is modern civilization, meant to cover the perpetual miseries of material existence. So this is people in avidya. They're karmis, right? They're karmi yogis, and their goal is to be happy. So there is no higher goal. And then they are engaged in sense gratification, or wherever sense gratification is getting hampered, then that is modern civilization comes and covers those, and they just want to be happy, and they no higher understanding how to live happily, or how to best be happy in this world, how to remain happy in the best way, or sense gratification is the essence. Then vidya, those who help such a godless civilization, those who help such a godless civilization by so-called advancement of material education are doing more harm than the gross sense gratifiers who are ignorant or less educated. Once again, those who help such a godless civilization by so-called advancement of material education are doing more harm than the gross sense gratifiers who are ignorant or less educated. Mundane Vidya that neglects spiritual aspect of life makes people unhappier than ever before. So it is more dangerous. So this is one type of Vidya Srila Prabhupada refers to. Like Vidya is um, better than Avidya is better than Vidya. That's what the theme is. Avidya is better than Vidya, and this Vidya is misguided Vidya. What basically Prabhupada is saying here is um, you created Darwin theory. Ignorant people means they don't know where they come from. But inquisitiveness will be there. But then you created a Darwin theory that says that we came from monkeys. Oh yeah. So who are we? Our ancestors were monkeys. And what is this universe? This universe came from a big bang. There was a blast and this universe came from. All right. So this is more dangerous because having no answer, ignorant is better than having a misguided answer. Prabhupada says advancement of material education. This material education, material scientific education. So they are finding, so those who help such a godless civilization by a so-called advancement. So first they are godless civilization. They don't believe in God. So now natural inquisitive question is there because we cannot disprove God, because otherwise where we are, why we are here, and who created this earth, and why we are in this environment, why we are bound in the cycle of birth and death, who is controlling everything that is happening, what is the force beyond it. So and then there is no, so who helped such a godless civilization by a so-called advancement of material education? Okay, see, here is the answer for all the questions you are asking. So who help such godless civilization by so-called advancement of material education are doing more harm than gross sense gratifiers who are ignorant or less educated. Well, they just don't know. But some point of time they'll be inquisitive and they will be amazed. But if you feed them with some answer and they are satisfied with that answer, then the inquisitiveness is lost. It is natural for one to be inquisitive. At some point of time, till the time it just doesn't arise, they are living in ignorance. But it arises and you kill it with a material education, then you kill that inquisitiveness also. Now finish. So that is more harmful, that vidya. Mundane vidya that neglects spiritual aspect of life makes people unhappier than ever before. So it is more dangerous. And now the the inquisitiveness that can help us towards vidya is also gone. So they eventually become totally engrossed and they become even more unhappier because of mundane vidya. Okay. Cobra, learning from godless people is as dangerous as a jewel on a hood of a cobra. A cobra decorated by a jewel is more dangerous than one not decorated. So you see a cobra, which like a snake, cobra snake, no jewel on his forehead, not as dangerous. But you see a cobra with a jewel, then you feel like wow. And those are very expensive jewels. They are born with it actually. Um, it's very nice where the jewel comes from. I don't know, but they are born with it. So, but they are more deadly. So this cobra with a jewel is ignorant people with material education. So material education is like a jewel. So better be ignorant, but being ignorant and covering the ignorance with the false knowledge is even more dangerous, because now hope is lost. And that's why Prabhupada said this is the atheistic civilization or godless civilization. That is what today is. Everything is godless civilization, because um, the- you, instead of bringing God into the picture, you bring your own theory and science into the picture and remove God from the picture. And so now God is not there. Godless education is like a decoration of a dead body. Mm. If you decorate a dead body, what's the point now? It's a dead body. So godless education is like that. Even if you give somebody that education, it's completely useless education. Man came from monkey, or word came from Big Bang Theory, or um, like they say, human is born of sex life. That's it. There is no soul. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, just man and woman come together, human are born, and we're just these bodies. And so, godless education, such education is useless. Um, Prabhupada also says, like, people are doing so much education, master's degree, PhD degree, postdoc degree, and then they use that education for what? They use that education for modern civilization. And what is modern civilization? Modern civilization is, you try to reduce the misery of people. People say, no, this is very nice. We are removing the misery. But then you remove the misery, like, so much research on cancer. Very nice. I'm not saying don't do research on cancer. But what Prabhupada point is, um, you do so much research and you avoid cancer, and then they die from some other disease. Ultimately, misery of material existence cannot be stopped. Misery of material existence is, there is disease, there is death. You can do some patchwork to cover one way or the other, and that is modern civilization, but you cannot stop the misery of material existence. So that is modern civilization. So you have a godless education. With that godless education, which is actually useless, as per avidya is more dangerous. Vidya is more dangerous than avidya. On that point, you have a godless civilization. That godless civilization is used, or basically mundane education, material knowledge. You use that for modern civilization, and that covers find a solution to remove the misery, which is more like a patchwork, because the misery of material existence are eternal, birth, old age, disease, and death cannot be stopped. But then people become so engrossed in and the life is done. So this is, uh, uh, and then they think we are very advanced. Past previously people were, aborigines, or and they feel very proud of their education also. But what is the point? Death will come, old age will come, disease will also come. All of these things will come, no matter how much civilization is advanced, for everybody. Okay. So what is the purpose of Vedic education? That was material education. It is meant for patchwork, covering the material misery and killing the inquisitiveness. But what is the purpose of Vedic education? Vedic education is that is true Vidya. That is to know the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna created everything. Material world is also to awaken God consciousness, as stated in Mantra 1. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. God has given everything. As per your quota, you use it, and be satisfied with it. Don't encroach into others' property. Whatever you need, you use it. And then um, use the life towards developing love for Krishna, towards God realization, to awaken God consciousness. Know that Krishna is God, and awaken the God consciousness, and go back home, back to Godhead, and to revive the forgetful soul's lost relationship with Krishna and help others. Once you understand, I'm part and parcel of Krishna, and the goal is love of Krishna, and goal is go back to Krishna, and purpose of human life is to work in such a way that I can go back to my um, original home, which is back to Krishna, back to Dham. And when you realize that, then you revive the other people who are lost, like Prahlad Maharaj would do to his friend. So this is the purpose of Vedic education, which is very contrary to modern education, which does patchwork to material miseries which can never be stopped. So, real educator, one must approach a bona fide guru to understand Vedic messages. Mundaka Upanishad. Mundane educators are known as Vedavadaratas, the so-called followers of the Vedas. So mundane educators, like they are so-called followers of the Vedas. Today morning we were discussing Chaitanya Charitamrita and Prakashanda Saraswati, one Maharashtrian, one Brahmana in Varanasi. He met Prakashanda Saraswati and he told Prakashanda Saraswati that the moment I saw Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, I was convinced that he is Krishna. He said, the Brahmanas told Prakashanda Saraswati, who was a leader of sannyasis, he said, I was convinced that Shri Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna himself. His hands is longer than his knees, his golden form, and just by seeing him, one chant Ram and Krishna's name comes to one's mouth, and he's so beautiful, and he's always decorated constantly with his mouth is constantly chanting name of Krishna, and his eyes are constantly decorated with tears of love, and it is so purifying just to see him. But then Prakashanda Saraswati was a very envious person. So he says, yeah, I know this Chaitanya. He's a sentimentalist. And his associates are also sentimentalist. And this is not the follower of Shastra. Shastra follow means you should do what Shastra say. Shastra does not say that you go on the street and dance and become sentimental. So, and on the other hand, he belongs to Bharati Sampradaya, which is a lower Sampradaya. We are Saraswati Sampradaya. But he has some mystical power, and that's why people become attracted to him. So don't get into such traps. So they are like, so these Mayavadis or these material educators, they're also these material educators, like modern civilization, use, they don't support religious organization, God consciousness, we see. And they're like, yeah, we don't have to do anything with all these things. So all these are like, they're in knowledge, either material education or, Shastric knowledge. Today we were reading from Bhagavatam, and it is Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, uh, um, third chapter, second canto, second chapter. It describes that Brahma, after scrutinizingly studying the Vedas for 3 times with great attention of the mind, come to the conclusion that the real religious principle is to develop attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. I said, wow, that's amazing. So Brahma studied the Vedas 3 times, scrutinizingly, with full concentration of the mind. And after studying the Vedas 3 times, he come to the conclusion that the real religious principle is to develop attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. But then there are these Vedavadaratas, the so-called follower of Vedas, like Prakash and the Saraswati, like material educators. I don't know in which way they are follower of Vedas, but then they are more dangerous. Self-made gods are called Maya ya Paharita Jnana, or those whose knowledge is stolen by Maya. They think themselves to be God, like Prakash and the Saraswati. They find no need to worship any other god because they are God. They worship an ordinary rich man, but not God. I mean, they are very respectable to ordinary rich man, and they bow down to him. No, makhan lagana unko. They worship their material superiors, but then they don't worship God. They say we are God. Then why are you worshiping rich man and your superiors, material superiors? They don't consider that God cannot be tagged by Maya. They don't consider that God cannot be tagged by Maya, his own energy. They say I am God, but I am tagged by Maya. So they think that God can be tagged by Maya also. So this is like Veda Vada or Maya Paharita Jnana, means they are in knowledge, they have their understanding, they have their philosophy, like this guru and that guru in YouTube, or other than the four sampradayas, bona fide a representative of Krishna. They're like their knowledge is taken by Maya. Maya, Parita Jnana, self-made gods, Vedavada Ratas, mundane educators, Mayavadis. They are all um, they are all Vidya, and that Vidya is more dangerous than being ignorant and being a sense gratifier. Better be a sense gratifier than these. So, what are the qualities of these Veda Vadaratas who think they are followers of the Vedas? Unlike their conclusion of Vedas is not Brahma's. Brahma is the one who heard the Vedas from Krishna with blessings, and Brahma studied them. And Brahma said, well, attraction to Krishna is the supreme dharma. Prabhupada says, how much you are advanced in Krishna consciousness is how much you are attached to Krishna. Prabhupada said, who is a guru or who is a pure devotee? Who is fully attached to Krishna. He is a guru of pure devotees. But then these Mayavadis, their conclusion from of Vedas is completely different from Brahma's. And Krishna says, from the Vedas I am to be known. And you know what Krishna says and what Brahma says, and they are like they have their own knowledge and they propagate that knowledge and become gurus and have many followers, and very, very dangerous. So what is the quality of Veda Vada Ratas? They pose themselves as learned in the Vedas, are diverted from the purpose of the Vedas, and Krishna says the purpose of the Vedas is Veda Krit Veda Videva Chaham. I am the compiler of the Vedas, I am the knower of the Vedas, and from Vedas I am to be known. So the purpose of the Vedas, they are diverted from that, are fascinated by the fruitive results of Vedic rituals. Um, all these rituals and some material benefit, they are fascinated by those karma kandis basically. They condemn the Puranas, which are authentic Vedic explanations for laymen. They don't believe, they believe in Vedas and they misunderstand Vedas. They are all Veda Vadarata. They disobey or neglect the authority of the Acharyas or Brahmaji. No, Mahajans are there. Morning we were discussing there is Shambhu, which is Shiva, there is four Kumara, there is Brahma. There are authorities, Sukadev Goswami, and there is Bhishma Dev, there is Yamaraj, there is Prahlad Maharaj, and there are many. So they disobey them, what they say, and they have their own understanding which has no basis. They do not know that the Vedas are understood only within the parampara. They think they can read and they can understand. But anybody who try to read even Bhagavad Gita or any other books by themselves, they always end up in misunderstanding. That's why we should always study these scriptures under the guidance of um, the guidance of Srila Prabhupada. But then I have seen people who study Srila Prabhupada books and they misunderstand Srila Prabhupada books. And that's why always Srila Prabhupada books also, as much as possible, especially in the beginning stages, should be read under the guidance of a devotee. Because those devotees have also heard and understood Srila Prabhupada teachings under the guidance of another devotees. They have heard under another devotees. And this is like Guru Parampara system which is coming on. But there is always, we always hear, we always understand even Srila Prabhupada books under guidance of devotees. I've personally seen a person, he read all the Prabhupada books. And then after reading Prabhupada books, he said, nobody is following Srila Prabhupada. I am the one who is following Srila Prabhupada. And then after reading Prabhupada books, he started finding fault in all the devotees. You are like this and you are like that. And then he had his own understanding, which is completely against Srila Prabhupada books. And then when different spiritual master don't match with his understanding, then he said that none of the gurus in ISKCON are following what Srila Prabhupada wanted. So this is the effect of independently studying Srila Prabhupada books without guidance. I was like very much surprised. I mean, Prabhupada is so clear, but then people can read in their own interpretation. And that's why best is always study these even Srila Prabhupada books under guidance of devotee. And then it's not that we have to study always under guidance of devotee, but especially the beginning stages, so that our base of Krishna consciousness is clear. And once our base is clear, and then you can top up more and more fillings with reading Srila Prabhupada books, and you will understand in right context, because now you are seeing everything from the right perspective. That's why especially in the beginning stages, always study Srila Prabhupada. Always, if you're teaching somebody, I mean, all of you are initiated devotees, and that's why this is Bhakti Shastri course. And all of you have very wonderfully studied under devotees' guidance, different devotees' guidance. But if you're guiding somebody, always they should study under you first. Once they are clear and their understanding is clear, then there can be add-ons, and that is perfectly fine. Then they can be on their own. But the base is clear, na? That is very important. When there is a strong structure, एक होता है ना, नींव बोलते हैं, नींव, घर का foundation बोलते हैं. When there is a strong foundation, you can build a 10-story structure. When the foundation is weak, anything will just crumble upon with little forces by the material nature. So they do not know that the Vedas are understood only within the Parampara system. They interpret the Vedas to suit their own purposes. And these people now who independently study, like I have seen one person studying independently, and he says, yeah, I have attained this pure devotion, and now tears come from my eyes, and these are my symptoms. And so, and they just pick up some section of the Vedas, and they feel very good about it, and some section that speaks, and sometimes they don't chant, and other section that Srila Prabhupada speaks about, they neglect those section and they emphasize some more. So it's like, they just try to suit the Shastra based on their own purposes. They interpret the Vedas to suit their own purposes. That's why devotees' guidance is very, very important. They are all Veda Vadaratas, then misguided others by misinterpreting the Vedas. And then once they are misguided, and by misinterpreting the Vedas, now they misguide others. खुद भी जाओ, दूसरों को भी ले जाओ अपने साथ. They present some unscrupulous person among them as the leading exponent of Vedic knowledge. And they present somebody who is not authorized. That he is the one who knows everything, and they propound him, they present some unscrupulous person among them as the leading exponent of Vedic knowledge. Somehow Krishna's mercy, I have seen all these cases. So this is, Prabhupada is speaking with great realization, and many of you may have observed all these things happening in person. Then they have their own acharyas who are not in parampara. Then they fall into darker regions of ignorance. Then those who have no knowledge of the Vedas at all, better don't know anything. Like, there is an example also. Two people went to Vrindavan to learn Mridanga. One person, the teacher said 2,000 rupees. Another person, he said 3,000 rupees. So the 3,000 rupees person said, hey, what are you saying? I know the Mridanga, he doesn't know anything, and I know so much. Then he says, yes, you know so much, and what you know is rubbish. So first, we have to make you forget what you know. That is very, very tough. So we have personally seen that people who are like from an impersonal background, for them to accept Krishna as a God is very, very difficult. But somebody who is innocent, who don't know, and you tell Krishna is God and Krishna is a form, and Krishna has a form, and chant Hare Krishna, they will say, all right, Krishna has a form. They start chanting Hare Krishna. They become very sincere devotees. But those who have other misconception, for them to understand, take it up with like so much trouble actually. So they fall into darker regions of ignorance than those who have no knowledge. So better to have no knowledge than a misguided knowledge. That's what this verse says. May think themselves liberated, but actually are not. And eventually they interpret scriptures in such a way, and they think, now I'm a pure devotee and I'm liberated and I have no material desires and I'm set. And I have everything that the scripture says, and and nobody is more advanced than me, and I'm the most advanced person. And they think that now I'm out of it. But actually they are not. They may think themselves liberated, but are actually not. This verse says, Vimukta Manina. They think they have become Vimuktas, like these Mayavadis. They think they have become liberated. But Prabhupada says, if you have no understanding of God, if you have no understanding of Krishna, no understanding of lotus feet of Krishna, then you will come back. Then, it's just a feeling that we are liberated. It cannot be liberated. By our feeling we are liberated, we won't become liberated. All right. So, huh. So what do we do? Do we discuss one more verse or do we end here?
Yes,
Prabhuji.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Do one more?
Yes, Prabhuji,
Yes,
please.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, let me see how many slides are there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 6 slides. I mean, I think we'll be late. Unless we rush it. Uh, I mean, I feel like we haven't discussed much, but I feel like taking a new verse, I should have been a little faster with my
No, Prabhuji,
presentation.
Prabhuji, everything was just pure nectar, Prabhu. And the microphone is very effective, very clear also. So thank you, Prabhu, for that.
Well, somebody said, "Oh, use this. A voice is not clear."
Very
Then,
good. Thank you so much,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Yes.
thank you. So, okay, I think, I mean, I have a desire to do more, but then I think seeing the sake of time, I mean, it's okay. Um, I think we can do next week with the hard I have to say this. So we'll see. There is some discussion.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. It
Thank you.
was-
Hare Krishna. So, anybody would like to ask anything?
Prabhuji, just a comment. You had mentioned the material patchwork, this higher education that we follow. And that's so profound to make our lives comfortable where there's going to be misery anyway. And what we think is advancement is really not advancement. And putting the Vedas and Krishna in the center is really pure knowledge. That's the foundation of a strong house. Thank you, Prabhu, for thank you for there's so many areas, Prabhuji, that you mentioned today. It's just pure nectar, Prabhu. So thank you thank you. Just thank you, Prabhu.
And these are Prabhupada realizations. So we are just discussing what is the relation of pure devotees. That is why we are hearing in parampara and we are getting the realization. The next verse actually speaks about what is the result of vidya, the difference between the results of vidya and avidya. Misguided vidya, guided vidya, and avidya. What is their destination? That is discussed. Okay, anything else? Any other discussion? All right. Dear devotees, thank you so much for joining and encouraging. My obeisances to all of you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dandavat pranams. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you
Dhanyavad.
so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very
Dandavat
much.
pranam.
Prabhuji. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam Radha Bhavani Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Priya Mohini Devi. Hare Krishna. Hare